Chosen one, you did not walk through the darkness just to survive. You walked through it so you could shine as a living testimony of this truth. God provides, and He is never late. Every moment you endured, the sleepless nights, the panic over bills, the silent tears, wasn't to break you. It was to shape you. Because now you are not just a survivor. You are the vessel of a divine contract between heaven and earth. God has taken the shattered pieces of your past financial struggle and built a launchpad for miracles. He is using your very life to showcase His glory. They will look at you, and they will see God. They will see someone who once had nothing walking in peace, abundance, and power. They will ask, how? And you will smile, point upward, and say, it wasn't me, it was Him. Chosen one, you've entered your season of evidence. No more waiting, no more hoping, no more vague promises. This is manifestation in full view, and no one can deny it. The prayers you whispered in the dark are now coming to life in the light. The seeds you sowed in tears are blooming. The pain you carried is turning into your platform. And yes, even those who mocked you, doubted you, dismissed you, they will have no choice but to acknowledge you've been touched by the hand of God, not because you wanted to prove them wrong, but because God wants to prove Himself through you, to break the myth that trusting in Him is weakness, to show the world that faith is power. You won't argue with words. Your results will speak. Your transformation will be the loudest sermon you ever preach. Doors you couldn't open on your own, God has swung wide. Opportunities you never imagined, now they surround you. When they ask, how did you do this? You'll respond, I didn't. I surrendered, and He moved. Chosen one, the wealth you are stepping into won't corrupt you. Why? Because you were forged in the fire. You learned how to give when you had little. You stayed humble in hardship. You refused shortcuts even when you were desperate. Now that abundance has arrived, money won't change who you are. It will amplify the light in you. God is entrusting you with heaven's resources, not for indulgence, but to invest in the eternal. You will feed more than your family. You'll nourish souls. You'll pay off more than your debt. You'll redeem the honor of your bloodline. You'll build more than your home. You'll build shelter for others. Because you understand, true wealth is when your presence brings peace to those around you. Remember this, your provision doesn't come from the earth, it flows from heaven. No one can steal it, no storm can shake it, no force can block it, because it is sealed in the eternal promise of God. You won't have to say you're chosen. Your life will announce it for you. Your light will pull others in, and your unshakable peace in times of uncertainty will make them ask how you did it. You don't live from the ground, you live from the kingdom. Chosen one, now is the time to rise. Not to prove yourself, but to answer God's call. He didn't bless you just so you could be comfortable. He blessed you so you could become a blessing to others. You are the bridge, the breakthrough, the hand that lifts others from fear to faith. And as you do, God will continue to pour into you, without limits, without pause, without condition. Because to Him, you are not just chosen, you are trusted. This message doesn't end here. It begins now inside your spirit. Close your eyes and whisper, Lord, I'm ready to receive divine wealth, not for my glory, but to serve you and bless the world you love. From this moment forward, your life will never be the same. Chosen one, there's a truth you need to carve deep into your soul. When God takes over, you no longer carry the burden. It may sound simple, but living by that truth, embodying it, is the very key that unlocks the door to the wealth you've been praying for. This is no longer a distant promise. This is a divine reality unfolding in your life right now. Do you remember those sleepless nights, running numbers through your mind, wondering how you'd make it to the end of the month? Praying over bills, hiding anxiety behind a tired smile? Those weren't random hardships. They were the final test before your gates opened. And today God is declaring over you, you've endured enough. Now it's my turn to act. When God acts, everything changes. Opportunities come without manipulation. People arrive at the right time, bringing the right resources. Doors that were bolted shut are flung wide open. Why? Because this is no longer about your effort. It's about God's divine economy flowing into your life. No more surviving. Now you're stepping into the ecosystem of supernatural provision. Chosen one, you're entering the season of financial ease, not because you'll stop working, but because you'll stop striving. You won't be chasing money anymore. Money will start flowing toward you, not because you hustled harder, but because heaven has decided this one is ready. Here's the truth. The weight was never meant to be yours. What? You were never designed to carry your finances alone. You were never meant to be the sole architect of your breakthrough. You've been acting as the provider when God already had that role. He let you feel the strain, not to punish you, but to train you so you would finally say, God, take over. And the moment you said it, something shifted in the unseen. You stopped building by your own hands, and heaven began constructing in your name. You stopped planning from scarcity, and heaven started operating from overflow. You stopped reacting in fear, and God started orchestrating in faith. Chosen one, this is not about quitting your responsibilities. This is about releasing your fear and surrendering your control. Because the truth is, money flows faster through faith than it ever could through force. You've been trying to hold everything together, trying to be strong for your family, trying to smile when your heart was tired, trying to keep going when everything screamed at you to stop. And yet God saw it all. He saw you refuse to lie, even when money was tight. He saw you give, even when it meant going without. He saw you pray, even when nothing seemed to change. And now he says, because you trusted me in the dark, I will reward you in the light. What's coming is not random. It's not luck. It's not coincidence. It's the arrival of every harvest your tears have planted. Chosen one, prepare yourself. Don't prepare for crisis. Prepare for overflow. Shift your mindset. Stop asking, what if it doesn't come? And start declaring, it's already done. God isn't asking you to make this happen. He's asking you to make room for it. He's not testing your strength. He's activating your faith. You've been trying to be everything. Now it's time to become one thing, a receiver. A vessel, an open channel, a trusted steward. From here forward, you will begin to see money arriving before the need, unexpected checks, cancelled debts, promotions you didn't ask for, clients you didn't chase, doors you didn't knock on, because you stopped trying to control what God already claimed as his job. Chosen one, you're not stepping into financial success. You're stepping into divine alignment. And when heaven aligns with earth, nothing can stop the flow. Let go, trust deeply, and watch as the provision you once fought for now arrives with ease, because God is in control. Chosen one, allow yourself to feel the shift happening, not just in your mind, but deep in your spirit. This shift isn't something you forced. It's divine intervention at work in your life. God isn't merely saying, do not worry. He's stepping in right now, on every front of your financial life. Can you feel it? That subtle calm where anxiety used to live, that quiet confidence that doesn't come from logic, but from divine assurance. This is your first sign, the evidence that God is already at work, quietly, powerfully behind the scenes. He doesn't move in noise. He moves in certainty. And when peace begins to replace pressure, miracles begin to manifest, effortlessly. Chosen one, this is no longer a dream on the horizon. Your financial freedom is now within reach. Not because of a job, not because of a business deal, but because of a heaven-backed guarantee that your struggle is over. God never said, try harder. He said, trust deeper. And you, chosen one, you've been walking in trust when others gave up. You've stayed faithful when there was no evidence, and now the evidence is arriving. The stress, the scarcity, the sleepless nights, they're not your future. They were your training ground. And the purpose of that season? To build capacity for abundance. Because the truth is, some things are too big for the old you to carry. God had to expand you, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, so you could handle what's now being poured out. Chosen one, the wait wasn't punishment, it was preparation. You weren't being ignored, you were being prepared. Prepared for a type of wealth that can't be shaken. This isn't temporary, this isn't unstable. This is God-made, storm-proof, generational wealth. You've entered the realm where money flows but doesn't define you. Provision arrives, but you're still grounded. Opportunities increase, but your peace remains unshaken. This is what happens when God takes over. This is what happens when you surrender the burden and he lifts it completely. And now, chosen one, you're going to witness something that defies logic. Things will begin to happen that you didn't ask for, but always needed. Bills paid without stress, contracts signed with ease, calls returned with favor, doors opened without you knocking. Because God is not just meeting needs, He's fulfilling promises. He didn't forget. He didn't overlook you. He waited for the right moment, and this is that moment. The moment everything changes. You're not in survival mode anymore. You're in divine alignment. Chosen one, you've graduated, spiritually, energetically, emotionally. You're no longer just hoping things work out. You know they are, because you know who's in charge now. This is where the striving ends. This is where the favor begins. From this point forward, the question is no longer how, it's when. And the answer is now. Right now, your story is being rewritten. Your relationship with money is being healed. Your legacy is being rebuilt from the ground up by the hand of God. Chosen one, prepare your heart. Not for pressure, but for overflow. Not for doubt, but for downloads. Not for effort, but for ease. This is not you getting lucky. This is God getting started. In the next part, you'll begin to understand why every financial hardship you've endured was never wasted. It was foundational. And what's coming next will prove it. Chosen one, the financial challenges you've endured weren't just obstacles. They were preparation points for divine possession. God was never trying to harm you. He was building you. So when the wealth came, you wouldn't fumble it, fear it, or forget Him. You had to experience the hunger, so you'd appreciate the feast. You had to be overlooked, so you'd recognize real favor when it found you. You had to be denied, so when the door finally opened, you'd know exactly who opened it. Chosen one, you're no longer living under man's systems. You're living under heaven's supply chain. This new realm doesn't operate on hustle. It responds to alignment. And right now, your alignment is activating a wave of provision that can't be explained, only witnessed. You are stepping into a financial structure that is not man-made. It is God-ordained. It doesn't shake with the market. It doesn't crash with the economy. It's not based on your credentials. It's not based on your background. It's based on a covenant, a promise between God and you, sealed not with money, but with mercy. This is why doors are opening that don't make sense, why connections are happening that you didn't arrange, why solutions are showing up before the problem even speaks. It's because God is building something through you, not just for you. He's not just blessing you to break your chains. He's blessing you to rewrite your family's future. Chosen one, you are no longer the struggler in your bloodline. You are the pioneer. You are the shift. You are the answer to your ancestors' prayers. They cried and now you collect. They suffered and now you rise. They endured and now you inherit. God is establishing you not just in success, but in legacy. This wealth is not for a moment, it's for a movement. You won't just see increase. You'll create a structure where increase becomes the default setting for everyone connected to you. And here's the most humbling part. God trusts you. He saw your faithfulness when nobody clapped. He saw your giving when nobody noticed. He saw your quiet obedience when no one understood. And now He says, you've passed the test. I'm building through you. Chosen one, this isn't just about bills being paid. It's about building a house no storm can shake. It's about building a name that's covered in divine oil. It's about building a future where scarcity is a foreign language to your children. You are the first, but you won't be the last. What starts with you will run through your bloodline like a holy wildfire of abundance. Don't underestimate this season. Don't get casual with this blessing. You're standing on holy financial ground, and the instructions from heaven are clear. Build something that doesn't collapse when you're gone. Chosen one, in the next part, you'll step deeper into the divine blueprint of how God is not just providing for today. He's building something through you that will outlive you. And for the first time in your life, you'll see what it looks like when heaven funds a legacy. Chosen one, the wealth God is releasing into your life is not a reward, it's a responsibility, a sacred assignment, a kingdom tool, and you of all people were chosen to carry it. Not because you're perfect, but because you're faithful. God could have picked anyone to steward this level of provision, but he picked you because he knew you wouldn't waste it. He knew you'd pour it back into purpose. You see, wealth isn't the goal, impact is. Provision is not the end, it's the beginning of your divine influence. This is not just about you being blessed, it's about you becoming a blessing station, a channel that heaven can trust. Your hands are now instruments, your accounts are now altars, your voice is now a vessel. You've graduated from survival, now you're moving in divine stewardship. Chosen one, as the blessings increase, so will the eyes on you. Some will question you, some will criticize you, some will envy you. But don't be discouraged. It's proof you're being elevated. Let them watch, let them whisper, because what God is doing through you will speak louder than any opinion ever could. You weren't made for smallness. That's why lack felt so unnatural to your soul. Your spirit always knew there was more purpose, more reach, more capacity. And now that more is manifesting. Don't shrink to make others comfortable. Don't dim your light to avoid attention. God is not only blessing you, he's showcasing you. Your wealth is not a spotlight, it's a signal that heaven keeps its promises. Chosen one, you are entering a new level of influence, not just financial but spiritual, emotional, transformational. People won't just admire what you have, they'll desire to know the God who gave it to you. You're about to become a testimony in motion, a walking sermon, a living altar. So how do you handle it? With humility, with clarity, with kingdom focus. You don't apologize for the overflow. You channel it. You don't hoard the blessings. You distribute them wisely. You don't let wealth change you. You use wealth to change the world. You will fund vision, free people, fill gaps, fuel destinies. Not for applause, not for fame, but because that's what chosen ones do. And here's the beauty of it all. The more you give, the more God pours in. Why? Because you're no longer just receiving for yourself. You're receiving on behalf of generations. Your hands are not just for lifting yourself, they're for lifting others. Chosen one, you are not just stepping into financial ease, you are stepping into financial authority. And with that authority comes a call. Build wisely, bless boldly, steward faithfully. In the next part, you'll see how God uses your hands, not just to gather, but to build something that echoes through eternity. Chosen one, the moment has come. You're not just receiving blessings, you're laying foundations. The wealth flowing into your life isn't fleeting. It's not a lucky season. It's a divine strategy designed to echo through time. God is building something through you that will outlive you. This is the shift. You're no longer living day to day. You're establishing legacy. This is no longer about income. It's about inheritance. You're not just being elevated. You're being entrusted. Chosen one, your hands are now building what your ancestors prayed for. You are the first in your bloodline to break the cycle of lack, to say, it ends with me. You are the bridge, the beginning of a new lineage. A legacy of overflow. And here's what makes it holy. God is not building this wealth for you to flaunt. He's building it through you to serve. He's giving you enough to feed your family and feed nations. He's opening doors not just for your dreams, but to unlock destinies for people you haven't even met yet. You are a distribution center for heaven, not a reservoir, a river. This is why you'll always have more than enough, because God knows you won't let it stop with you. You'll fund ministries, support families, break generational curses, release healing through giving, and shift atmospheres with obedience. Chosen one, get used to this reality. You're no longer receiving, you're releasing. You're not chasing provision, you're commanding it. Because when God flows through you, provision is no longer unpredictable, it becomes automatic. People may not understand, they may think you've changed, they'll say you're different now, and they're right. You are. You've been transformed by favor, rebuilt by faith, reassigned for legacy. You are no longer just blessed, you are trusted. That's why the provision won't stop. That's why the overflow will multiply. That's why the breakthroughs keep coming. Not because you're lucky, but because God has found in you a faithful steward. So what now? Now you build, now you give, now you model what divine success looks like. You teach your children the language of overflow. You show them how generosity works. You raise them not just in comfort, but in covenant. You shift the culture. You redefine the family tree. You replace shame with strength. You leave footprints of faith wherever you go, because this is who you are: a legacy maker, a foundation layer, a kingdom financier. Chosen one, this season isn't the finish line. It's the groundbreaking ceremony of a divine estate that will bless generations. And in the final part, you'll understand how every trial, every delay, every dry season was never punishment. It was the preparation for the permanent blessing that's now here. Chosen one, this is your moment of fulfillment. Not the end of your story, but the manifestation of every word heaven has spoken over your life. The struggle wasn't the story, it was the setup. The pain wasn't the end, it was the positioning. And now you walk not just in blessing, but in divine permanence. Gone are the days of wondering if provision will last. Gone are the nights of calculating how to stretch what little you had. Gone is the identity of the one who makes it work. You are no longer surviving, you are ruling. You've entered a new economy, heaven's economy, where the supply is endless, where the peace is permanent, where wealth flows without sorrow. And this isn't a moment, it's a mandate. God didn't just bring you here to experience overflow, He brought you here to establish it. Chosen one, you are no longer waiting for favor. You are walking in it. Every step you take from this point forward is covered in the oil of divine provision. The same God who brought you through the valley is now walking you into a wide and spacious place. A territory He has prepared for your peace, your prosperity, your purpose. This is where your fear dissolves. This is where your confidence rises. This is where you stop praying for scraps and start stewarding storehouses. You are the fulfillment of a promise. Not just for yourself, but for everyone connected to your obedience. Your yes to God has opened a floodgate that cannot be shut. Your faith has created a path for others to follow. And your life is now a living altar, proving that God is who He says He is. So what happens now? You live, you give, you lead, you move through this world as a beacon of light. You carry generosity like a torch. You speak blessings like commands. You love like it's your language. Your wealth now has a purpose: to reflect God's heart, to feed the hungry, to rescue the hurting, to fund movements that shift history, to prove that when God blesses a life, He does it without apology, without limit, without delay. Chosen one, you are the proof that it's possible. You are the evidence that waiting on God is never in vain. You are the sign to a broken world that trusting in the divine pays eternal dividends. You will never walk in lack again, not because you made it, but because God has marked you. Marked you with favor, marked you with overflow, marked you with legacy, and no one can unmark what heaven has sealed. Take a deep breath, chosen one. Look around. This is the beginning of the life you always knew was coming. No more delay, no more doubt, no more fear. You've been faithful, you've been refined, you've been prepared. Now you've been released. Step fully into this wealth. Use it to heal, use it to build, use it to glorify God. Because from this moment forward, your life is no longer your headache, it's His responsibility. And He never fails.